10 o'clock. Time for Fox 10 Talks. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ron Hoon, soon to be joined by Celeste Rodriguez in just the next minute or so, as we have another couple of hours now of information and conversation. If you have not seen the pictures coming out of this fire that was burning up in the far North Valley, if you are from here, you're probably familiar with New River. If not, it's just on the very edge of the metro here of 5 million people. The desert gets really beautiful up in that area, but you've got some people that own acreage up there, and there are no fire hydrants in many different locations. So what it ended up being today was a gargantuan effort by the great folks at the Daisy Mountain Fire Department to try to get this thing knocked down. So that's going to be our big story this morning. You're going to be hearing from the fire captain and what he had to say about it all. But also coming up today on FTT, this story of the college professor that used an AI trick to catch cheaters is fantastic. Wait till you hear what this professor did. And honestly, the percentage of people who were able to actually therefore pass the test and not get caught, it's very minor. I mean, it's like below 10%. It's disappointing. Then we had a sleep expert on. You'll hear some of her tips on how to get a better night's sleep. We'll share our own thoughts. Not like Celeste, you and I are big experts when it comes to getting a good night's sleep, but you try.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you try every single night, Ron.
Yeah. Can
you hear me okay?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
All right, buddy, yeah.
All right, and then TMZ every Monday at about 10:30, we check in with our buddy Eric Wilson. This whole story about Diddy in solitary confinement now is certainly a big one. We're going to find out all about that from them. But we are coming, Celeste, out of a full weekend of some very hot temps. Huh?
Yeah, it's going to be.
On.
It was hot this past weekend.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I got into the vehicle, and I know it's hard. You know, it's the temp in the car was 124.
Oh, gosh.
And then I sat down, and I had like this gold necklace on, and it started.
Was it almost burning your flesh?
It was.
Oh, no.
I'm like, all I'm doing is heading to the grocery store. What's going on?
Okay.
And so maybe share with us in the chat. Maybe you like the 110 plus, and maybe you don't mind them. What do you get burned by? The seatbelt, the steering wheel,
Celeste,
your necklace?
This is amazing. I'm going to add that. You know, my story of remembering the day that we hit 122, which goes all the way back, by the way, to the 90s.
Yeah.
But my story was how I felt my nostrils burning as I walked across a parking lot. I'd had a bite to eat somewhere around like 7th Street in Missouri, and just to get out to my car, I was worried about the pavement becoming like gooey.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but it was like the heat coming off pavement is just incredible.
Oh, it was just so hot. We need more storm activity.
Yeah, we do.
Just to kind of cool us down just a little bit.
100%, Celeste. But let's talk about this fire now. This is one of those things where I just feel like our firefighters, we ask so much of our firefighters here in the Valley this time of year. Now, thank goodness it was at not the real heat of the day. By the way, in case you missed it, we hit 117 over the weekend. This was early this morning. In fact, it was pre-dawn. And this fire for this home up there in New River, it's pretty remote. People love, having a little bit of land up there, and they're in the... they're out there almost in the wild, but there are no fire hydrants in a lot of different areas. So Daisy Mountain did what they could, and we had a chance to talk to their fire captain. You're going to hear some of what they were up against just in terms of trying to get this thing knocked down.
And Captain Jensen Schell with the Daisy Mountain Fire Department. Captain, good morning. We thank you for your time this morning. That fire was ablaze. Your crew did a great job. What can you share with us about maybe all the debris on that property and maybe how that helped fuel the fire as well, potentially?
Yeah, thank you. Good morning. That was probably our hardest issue with this fire was access. It was unfortunately fully involved when we did arrive. Crews were just unable to kind of get directly into the spots that they were attempting to get to really make a good turn on this fire. Luckily, all secondary structures and all brush was contained, and all exposures were protected by our crews. So all in all, we did a really good job this morning, and unfortunately the access just made it difficult.
Give us the nuts and bolts here, if you don't mind, Captain. About how many crews did you have out on scene? Did you have to kind of elevate it, or did you just attack this with everything you had in the first few minutes?
Yeah, so the original dispatch, due to the automatic aid system, is pretty bolstered up with engines and engines and tenders, excuse me. That would be our water trucks that we use to water shuttle to these incidents. But we did add some additional units, especially as the morning progressed and the weather started to get hotter, and due to firefighter fatigue, we were able to add some units onto that just to protect our own. But our shuttle operation of water has been probably our main source that we've been doing well this morning. We have not ran out of water. Our training is extensive on this operation, and that is definitely one of the things that has come out of here that has been the best for us out of this fire is the water operation. We have approximately 10 to 15 crews out here at this time. and I don't think we'll be adding any more. We are winding down, and we do have an ongoing investigation as to how this started.
Yeah, we can see some of those live images with your crews still dousing the flames with water from some of those hoses. Give us an idea. You mentioned firefighter fatigue. How often do they take breaks, to kind of let themselves rest and get geared up for the next little bout there on fighting the fire?
Yeah, it's a great question. Often they run what's out of air. So the air pack on our back only has a limited amount. So once they run out, they need to come out to then switch their bottle to be able to have breathable air, of course. So that is typically a quick switch, and then they go back in with a second bottle. Around that time, given 30 to 45 minutes of pure work in the heat, they're due for at least a little bit of a rest. So they go to what we call a rehab, and that's when they rehydrate, kind of take their gear off for a bit. We switch other crews in to cover their area, and we kind of keep that cycled through. The main thing for that is obviously we don't want anybody to get injured or get fatigued to the point of passing out. So it is one of our heaviest considerations, especially during the summer here in Arizona.
Well, so there it is. One more look at this blaze as it was burning. This is Central Avenue, believe it or not, and Honda Bow Road. You think of Central Avenue, you think all the high-rises in downtown Phoenix, but you go up there, about 30 miles north of the downtown area, and there's still a Central Avenue, and man, the crews really had their work cut out for them. I think, Celeste, it would be fascinating sometime to ride along with Daisy Mountain, because they're used to this. They have so many areas where they don't have fire hydrants, to see how they shuttle these water trucks in and out to keep fighting the fire.
Yeah, Daisy Mountain is way up in that north part of the valley where you have kind of like Boulder Creek High School. You're kind of like in the desert landscape. And so they've done a really good job on kind of protecting that part of the valley, that urban interface, as they call it. But the tough thing here was that you have this large piece of land, which a lot of people up in this part of the valley have, and they had RVs and some other things on their property, so it was hard to maneuver and get to the blaze. And so you can see they kind of had to go defensive on it. But wow, and I believe Tom Fergus, our photojournalist, he came through with some of these ground images, got there right away.
Oh my gosh.
Did a great job to hustle to the fire.
I don't even know how he did that. I mean, this fire started about, I think, 5 in the morning, and by about 5:45 we had the live pictures coming in. Tom, great hustle on his part.
He's a newsman at heart, Ron.
He definitely is. All right, so there was a just really tragic story that came in a little more than a week ago from Tucson about a mass shooting. And we wondered if at any point we were going to get the video, which we're going to share with you right now, if we would get the video that showed what was actually going on. It was, if I recall, it was a late Saturday night. Just right in that downtown area, people like to gather and have a good time on the weekends. But just watch this video, because now that it's been released, here's what we can tell you. So the man identified as David French, he's the gunman here. This is slow-mo. He's got another guy with him, and then look at that, over and over and over. He's like bouncing on his feet like this is, what is he thinking?
Well,
Does
look
he
at
not realize?
Do you see the people sitting on the curb, though, Ron? Watch this video again.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are there in the, late on a Saturday into Sunday morning. And you can see he shot right here. And
Tucson police, kudos to them.
Wow,
they're
got there quick.
within seconds.
There's people sitting on the curb right when he starts firing, when the shots start going back and forth, and they've got to run to take cover. The situation is that you have people in the community. It's like, what is happening? Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. It's being reported that he has a previous felony conviction after pleading guilty to a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And here we go again. He's now once again facing dozens of counts, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. So a lot of questions being asked just about how the justice system handled his first case, because the second time around now, you've got all of these people who were injured as a result. Hey, by the way, when we speak about some of that, there was just a tragic story coming in from Seattle this weekend. There was a mass shooting there.
It's unbelievable.
Let's listen to what people were saying.
What happened here today at the Seattle Center was an unbelievable tragedy.
I heard gunshots, lots of them, and I thought it was just a game or something that was going on, or fireworks.
We were minding our own business, running our booth, and then we saw a crowd of people running towards us. It was kind of a stampede.
Everyone got scared. Pushing each other, running over signs.
Jeez Louise, and it was at Abida, Seattle. It was at a food festival, Ron, of all things.
Yeah, right. It's so close to the Space Needle at the Seattle Center that people were literally running into the gift shop of the Space Needle to get away from the shootings.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so it turns out that it was we don't know how old they are. They're not releasing the info yet. I'm sure it's going to come out at some point.
It said they're young people, I believe is what they...
Right?
That's the early indications. We're waiting for confirmation on ages, though.
Maybe teenagers, something like that. Shooting at each other, and yet all these innocent people, including a 2-year-old child. So our best to everybody that was... impacted by that. Right now, Celeste, it's time for our first break of the morning.
And your mystery camera. We know that you guys love this part of the show. This is a preview. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
All right, Celeste. Oh, this is going to be fun to get everybody's guesses in. Oh, by the way, look at that. We already have Professor Brett Kleiman.
Yes.
Professor Kleiman is saying this has got to be Hooners' home state of Washington.
Oh,
it
maybe.
could very well be.
Maybe. Look at those green pine trees.
Yeah. I feel like I say we because I came from there, but I've lived here 40 years. I feel like we don't do sidewalks quite that effectively.
Oh, yeah.
We're a little more nature-oriented. You might have like a little trail next to the road.
I just like what he says, Ron. He said, summers are spoiling me getting to watch Fox 10 Talks live. Good morning, Celeste and Ron.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
okay.
Because he's a college professor.
Yeah.
And so he's getting, classes are going to start soon, and it's going to be, he'll have to watch in the classroom.
Yeah, Brent, there you go. Bring a TV in. I mean, that's the way it used to be a long time ago. I actually remember, Celeste, when they were having the moon shot back in the 60s.
Right.
And they would wheel in one TV to like the multi-purpose room or the gym or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And the whole class of like 5th graders or 6th graders, we would watch on TV like when the moonshot happened.
Wow.
This is a TV in a classroom. We're all for it.
That's something I see could happen even today, right? The next time someone lands on the moon. But in my situation in high school, we were watching the O.J. Simpson trial in Senora Garcia's class.
Oh.
So in my Spanish class,
Marcos Deniz,
it was,
okay.
yes.
Yep.
And in my Spanish class, she was totally into the O.J. Simpson trial.
Oh, everybody was.
So she brought a little TV in, and in the middle of Spanish class, she just had it sitting there, this little black and white TV that she brought in from her home. And that's what she brought into her class.
Wow.
Yeah, I loved her.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about our TV poll question today. And then we got a great interview coming up for you here. In the next couple of minutes here. But we have this poll question on TV because it is National Chicken Finger Day.
Yum.
What's the best dipping sauce? And Celeste, ranch continues to win. And for a while, ketchup was running at number 1. It's now like 4th place or something.
I think the ranch is kind of universal because you have it with a salad. And then you can use it as a dip.
Oh,
we're like, for example, a cane sauce. If you've never been to Cane's, well, then you've never had a cane sauce.
See, it's a good point, Celeste.
You know?
Everybody has an opinion about ranch. I'm all about the Chick-fil-A sauce. I'm shocked that it's at only 12%. But anyway, happy National Chicken Finger Day.
Woohoo!
We are bringing on, once again, because he was such a great and popular guest the last time around, Dan Schur. He's a political analyst and a longtime college prof.
Yes.
By the way, do you have a favorite dippings? Do you eat chicken fingers? Do you guys have cane?
Of course we eat chicken fingers. Well, come on. We're Californians. We're not barbarians.
Well, I don't know. Some might disagree with you on that one.
I think you're probably right. But I've got a theory on the ranch.
Yes.
You know, everybody heard about how all of our visitors from around the world for the World Cup just loved ranch dressing.
Oh.
They loved ranch dressing. They loved Costco.
So true.
I think it helped us appreciate something we'd taken for granted. So now we're thinking more about ranch.
Oh,
These are the kind of deep thoughts we only get from Dan. So there you go. Hey, let's talk a little bit about where we are in the world of politics right now. Now, I will just tell you, I went back and I was listening to the last time we interviewed Dan, which was now almost a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And you were saying how this was not even 2 months ago. You were saying how Gavin Newsom was emerging as the Democrats' most effective pushback to Donald Trump. What has happened in the interim? Because now it feels like, I'm not going to say that he's like fallen off the map,
but it's a little quiet.
And all the talk now is about AOC, Bernie Sanders, and others. What do you think has been shifting here?
3 letters, guys. DSA.
Okay.
And as the Democrats have been mobilizing behind their most progressive candidates in Senate races in Maine and in Michigan and in Minnesota and around the country, I think what you're seeing now is the real energy on the parties coming from the far left. And Newsom, all along, he's been trying to play both as a liberal and as a moderate. And when you have real live liberals in the race like these two, then it shouldn't be surprising that the party's going for the real thing, as opposed to somebody who does try to keep a foot in both camps.
You know, Dan, with the number of independents growing in Arizona and in other states, I think a lot of people are just getting, I don't know, tired of the polarizing politics. And instead of being a voter who votes along party lines, there's a lot of people who now vote on issue base. Do you think that that's a strong move, in terms of looking to the far left, looking to the far right? Our moderate leaders, are we going to see more of them or less?
I think you're certainly going to see more independent candidates. If you look around the country, you're seeing any number of independents running for House of Representatives, a few for Senate and for governor around the country. And so I do think that at a certain point, while there's room in the political process, of course, for principled progressives and principled conservatives, I think you are going to see more of an independent movement emerge a little bit this November, but much more in 2028.
Okay, I bet you read the same piece I read this weekend, because I like to go all over the map to, get an idea of what's happening in the political world. But there was a piece in the New York Times about the head of the DNC, a guy named Ken Martin, who got so frustrated the other day he threw his phone at an underling.
Wow.
And it just talked about the fact that there are people in the party who are concerned they may not have the right leader, but it's obviously we're 100 days from the election. It's too late now, I think, to change horses in the middle of the stream, but it does raise a question. I know there are worries out there amongst Democrats. Is there a chance they fumble away what should be a wave election for them?
You're thinking about this exactly the right way. There have only been 3 midterm elections in the past century in which the president's party did not lose seats in Congress. And from an operational standpoint, the fact that there was so much tumult at the Democratic National Committee should be a cause of real concern for them. I think the odds are still in favor of Democrats winning back at least the House of Representatives this year. But if they don't win a larger majority, if they don't take back the Senate, a lot of the blame for that, I think, is going to point at the party itself, both the structural and the leadership problems that you're talking about. But as you guys know, structural and leadership problems in a party lead to fundraising problems in a party.
That's
Democrats have raised much, much less money than Republicans, and that's a real weakness for them.
Well, now, hold on one second. I got to jump in on that.
Go for it.
Because at the same time that Democrats are not raising near as much money as Republicans, I keep seeing these polls that say, but Democrats are way more motivated to vote this time around. Can you make that make sense?
So that is probably the biggest asset that the Democrats have going now. Once again, like I mentioned a moment ago, in most midterm elections, the president's party tends to lose seats. And that's not a coincidence. Think of it, guys, think of it as the politics of hunger. If I don't get invited to the White House for 4 years because the other party holds the White House, well, then I'm hungry and I'm motivated. But if I get to go to White House state dinners, I get a little bit more satiated. So out parties are always more motivated, and there's no question that, at least according to polls, Democrats are talking about how they're much more eager to turn out in November than Republicans are. But as you correctly pointed out, you've got to have a way to channel all that enthusiasm. That's what a party does, and they really have to figure out how to get their ducks in a row operationally in order to take advantage of that motivation that their base has.
I think we're all motivated by state dinners. Don't we all love to eat? We're just we're simple animals, Dan. We're simple. Just give us a good meal. You host this monthly live national webinar called the Dan Sure Political Report. And interesting, you talk about all kinds of issues: political, domestic policy, geopolitics. I think right now for a lot of Americans, economy is at the heart of it. How do I deal with these high gas prices? How do I put money on the table? How do I get myself a new job or get promoted? What are you finding and hearing from people around the world, or maybe even from some of these leaders around the country, in terms of how we make this work better for Americans?
Well, this really is one of the Republicans' biggest challenges now, because, of course, Democrats, being the out party, means that when voters are upset, they can tap into that frustration. And certainly nowhere is there more frustration than on prices of the goods we rely on every day: grocery prices, gasoline prices, housing prices. And Republicans in Congress, as I know you both know, Republicans in Congress have been working really hard to try to convince the president to talk more about economic and affordability issues, particularly the tax cut bill they passed last year. And because of the war in Iran and because of other policy challenges, Trump isn't spending as much time on economic policy as his Republicans on the ballot would like. And right now, at least, Democrats are leaping on that. So we'll see over the next 99 days if that's a pivot that the president decides to make.
Okay. Wow, that's like 7 great minutes of political insight right there.
It really is, Dan. You're so insightful, and he's got his own book. Do you see that behind him? It says The Office of Dan Sure. It's like this little sign. We're in your office. This is great, Dan. Thank you.
And now I'm going to start. Now I'm going to start talking about ranch dressing too.
Oh yeah, the chat is on fire about ranch dressing.
Bringing us full circle. Thanks, Dan. Hope to call on you again soon.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, Sue. Thanks so much for having me.
Okay.
It's such a wealth of knowledge when it comes to so many different political topics.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. We are going to show you right now where things look when it comes to our poll question this morning.
Yes.
Which Fox had a really interesting poll on which party you think could do better on the economy. And so here's our question. It's pretty basic for you. Will the economy get better or worse in the next year? Now, this is our QR code poll, so that's for people who are actually watching the show, and you can grab it right now with your phone and vote. Do you think it's going to get better? I think some people are optimistic and other people are saying it can't get much worse. So 77% are saying better. 20% say they think it could go downhill from here. And then 3% say it really depends on gas prices.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, this is, and is Abs back here? Is Abby back here? Hey,
Yeah,
Abs.
she's going to have comments in a couple of minutes.
Can you double check Abs and see if the link, people are asking for the link to the YouTube poll. I guess it's not in the chat this morning.
Yeah.
So we're going to go throw that in there for you. And if you're watching on television, you can go to YouTube, fox10phoenix.com, find us, and you can vote as well. So more on this poll right now. 64% say it'll get worse in the next year. More with comments. And let's take a look at your mystery camera this morning as well. Where do you think this is? Post your answer in the chat. We'll be right back.
Oh, Celeste, we're getting some guesses.
We are. You guys are on it this morning. We've got a Point Doom from Thomas Favela. I looked it up. I think that's up in Malibu or California.
Oh.
I was like, where is Point Doom? Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
That is from Thomas Brown. Got a Salt Lake City from Joshua Tovar. And Charles David says Washington. What are your thoughts, Ron?
I would love it if our roads and streets looked that good in Washington, because generally they don't. I'm going to go, therefore, somewhere up in the Great Lakes region, Celeste. I'm trying to decide.
Michigan area.
I think I'll go Michigan. I was thinking Minnesota, but I will go Michigan. How about you?
You and Louis Gonzalez are both going to go Michigan.
Okay.
And they look like very orderly, nice people. Like nobody's doing donuts in the middle of the road.
Oh, my
you know what
gosh. Did you hear the story about, we have it coming up later on, of the guy who was doing donuts out there and he accidentally ran right over a fire hydrant?
What a, oh my gosh, what a crazy situation. Okay, I think I'm going to go with Oregon.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Oregon.
So
All
we
right,
have a Michigan and an Oregon.
Yes.
And we have Celeste.
Your mystery camera, Traverse City, Michigan.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations
Okay, let me
to
go
all
back
the
and look.
winners, including Ronald Hoon.
Well, I passed through there, a couple, 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
We went up to Mackinac Island, which, I know people are like, oh, I got to go on a really fancy vacation on the other side of the world, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But just going over to Michigan.
Oh my gosh, it's
is
amazing.
a great place to spend some time. So on the way either coming to or going away from Mackinac Island, you can go right through Traverse City.
What was the meal you had there? Did you eat anything or get a snack at,
The main thing I remember is I rented a jet ski. Out there, and I was zooming back and forth across that bay. That's a little inlet from Lake Michigan.
Were you wearing a wetsuit or like a Speedo or a swimming trunks?
I'm happy to say I don't believe I've ever owned a Speedo.
Oh, really?
Correct. In the interest of
You
good
can ask Corey
taste.
to borrow his. I think he has one.
All right, let's talk just a little bit about what's been going on with our weather. Yes, it was hot this weekend. I actually was a little bit shocked that it hit 117. I mean, we went out, took the grandkids, and we went to a popular Mexican drive-thru location.
Oh, I love it.
And
what did you order? Hold on, before we move on, what did you have?
I had let me think about this now. I think the tacos. Yeah, the
was
shrimp
it Sombreros?
No, close. It's called Backyard Taco.
Oh, I have heard of that
Have you
place
been to
too.
that place?
I have not been, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
Oh, great. Well, anyway, I can't believe we walked out, chatted for a minute, got in the car. I was shocked that it was 117 that day.
Oh my gosh! Was that Saturday then?
It was Friday.
Friday,
right?
Yeah. It was so hot. And maybe it's because we're so used to the monsoon now and some of those cooler temperatures.
Oh yes.
But my goodness, and guess what? We're going to see 110 plus ish around there hovering for the next several days. Here is a look at this story here. Look at those clouds moving.
So that's down there around Sierra Vista.
Wow.
I'm just a sucker for a good time lapse, Celeste.
Wow.
Look at this.
That is incredible. Look at all that rain falling from the sky. You kind of see that funnel, right? Kind of make it to the ground. I wonder if people are inside this church right now praying, like, let the storm pass.
Well,
and guess what? Guess what, Ron?
Yes.
The great book actually said, the gospel, the good news, says the storm will pass.
It will.
Yes. And it did.
Okay. But I will also say sometimes people pray for rain. So we kind of want to have it both ways.
Yeah, don't we always? We want to have it one way, but we want to have our cake and eat it too.
There you go. Now let's go to Casa Grande because this is what it looked like when that dust storm was kind of blowing into town.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, the Weather Service was saying that winds could gust up to 45 miles an hour. Sometimes they're so strong that they blow right up into the valley here. And other times not so much. But, this is what we get used to seeing right around here. I did think, Celeste, that the coolest story to come out of the weather world was what happened in Cochise County.
Yeah.
There was an elderly woman who needed help. Floodwaters were on the rise all around her home in beautiful Benson there in southern Arizona. And the ambulance that came out to help her, I don't know exactly what her medical deal was, but the ambulance got stuck in the mud. And if the ambulance is getting stuck in the mud, that is some kind of a storm.
Yeah.
So they used a basket to bring her out because it was so muddy, people otherwise would probably be sinking up to their knees.
Yeah.
She was unconscious by the time they got to her. but they got her to the hospital, and hopefully she's going to be
Which
okay.
is great news.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my gosh.
Once again, our first responders. See, look at that. They're hydrating
so
right there.
You know, speaking of first responders, we had the fire up at New River. We were talking about it at the top of the show.
Yeah.
And they take like breaks between 30 and 45 minutes.
Oh, yes.
You know, they get the new oxygen tank, and I think he said then they take breaks because imagine like in some of these very hot temperatures, those, I believe they're what they're wearing is 35 pounds.
Their turnouts.
Their turnouts are 35 pounds. It's heavy, it's hot, and imagine the job that they have.
Yeah, no kidding.
So thank you to all of our fire crews. My goodness.
All right, 10:35. We're pretty much, just now 10:36. We're running pretty much right on time. That
Yes,
means
we
it's
are.
Eric Wilson time, Celeste.
Hey, Eric. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
How we doing?
We're doing pretty good, better now that you're here.
Are you rocking?
Happy
What
to be
is
here.
that shirt you're rocking there, bud?
It's my Jaw shirt. I think you guys have seen it before, you know.
It's Shark Week. Is that why you're wearing it?
Oh, yeah.
It is, yes, exactly. See? There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Have you ever swam with sharks?
I have not, but Shark Week is always the same week as my birthday, so I always feel like a connection to it. So
Wow.
that's a hint that I want a present next week.
That I was going to say that's a very subtle ask on Eric's part. Okay, so yeah, Shark Week is always popular.
Happy
That's
birthday.
great. I have a shirt that kind of looks like that. It's a Led Zeppelin shirt.
Oh, wow.
And I get so many. I probably get more comments on that than any other shirt.
And
I
mine
wear,
is a
so.
We
Nirvana
got to coordinate
shirt.
next time.
You got a Nirvana.
I got a Nirvana shirt.
Okay, we need to coordinate on National T-Shirt Day.
Yes, we
and
do.
I'll bring in
And
our
we'll bring
wild
Eric in,
T-shirts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hey, Eric, let's talk about Diddy. What in the heck is going on with him?
Oh, man, I've been talking about Diddy so much in the last 2 years. So he is in solitary confinement at Fort Dix because of the fight that he got into with an inmate last week. We're learning some more details about what that life is like for Diddy now that he's in solitary confinement. We're hearing that he can have a mattress, a pillow, some toilet paper, shaving equipment, and some books. But other than that, it's pretty miserable living for him down there. He gets one visit a week, if that is still... He may have lost visitation rights with this fight, but typically if you did not lose them, you get one visit a week from a family member in person. But other than that, it's pretty slim pickings down there for him.
So let's talk about this violent. This is what what was given to us. It's violent prison brawl. Do we know what it was about?
Well, violent seems a little bit of a stretch. We're still finding out details on exactly when and how this started, but we do hear it's from another inmate, and that it got physical, but it was broken up pretty quickly by some guards, and that Diddy held his own. We don't know exactly what that means as well, but that was one of the sources were telling us that he held his own. So we don't think too many, fists were thrown, but definitely some were.
Okay, let's go on to that other topic. There's a kind of a brewing criminal case now, or at least a lot of question marks on the Nolan Wells situation. What's going on there?
Yeah, so this is online speculation more than anything right now. But there is this call that that Nolan's friends made when their boat was sinking to a sea tow operator. And in the background of that call, people are speculating that you hear things like Nolan get up, check his chest, is he dead, things like that. We posted this audio fully on our website. You can check it out, tmz.com. But as of right now, we're not saying that that's what we're hearing. To us, it doesn't sound like that's what we're hearing. We know that the boat was towed and that people did see Nolan alive after the boat left the shore, towed away. So it doesn't look like that's what it is, but people are speculating that. So we put the enhanced audio up there, and we're just getting more information about that right now.
Yeah, it is hard. I listened to most of that audio. It is very difficult to tell exactly what's going on, but it's a panic situation, so... Yeah,
and they're all yelling, obviously, because they're both sinking. So you hear a lot of that, and it's crosstalk and stuff. So.
All right, Eric, thank you so much. We appreciate your time, buddy. Anything big you guys are working on today? I know you guys actually have a show. You have a TMZ show that you guys tape there in the studio, in the newsroom.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Nolan Wells case and Diddy right now is the main priority. Let me check the rundown here. What we got?
Check the rundown. Give us a sneak peek.
Talk about the inside scoop.
Yeah, Eric's good with that.
Yeah.
And he's looking at his phone, getting us all the details.
That's the big thing. Nolan and Diddy are the A blocks. David's music, the David, who's obviously accused of killing Celeste Rivas. His account was hacked this past weekend, and a fake song was put up basically confessing to the murder. We don't know how his Apple account got hacked, but that was removed as well. So people saw some speculation this week that he maybe delayed a release to confess while he was in prison, but we can confirm that it was hacked and it was a fake post.
All right. Thank you, Eric. Great report as always.
Happy birthday, brother.
Hey, Celeste, let's look at the updated poll. I wondered about it because I have a feeling the economy is the #1 issue for the election.
Oh, yeah.
Now we've refreshed, and it wasn't 400 votes. It was 1,400 votes.
Yeah, we've got 1.4 thousand votes on this one. So will the economy get better or worse in the next year? Primarily, this YouTube poll is people voting on YouTube. So you can go to our YouTube channel, fox10phoenix.com, and then you can join the chat, which is even better, Ron. It's the friendliest chat online.
Oh, yeah.
So is it better, worse, or depends entirely on gas prices? Well, people think online that the economy will get worse. 62% voting in that direction. 31% say better, but a lot of comments.
Yeah, for sure. So let's go find some of those comments. Abby's in for Dave.
Hey, Abs.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so lots of comments going on YouTube right now. Bad Madako 4T says, we are losing hope in a big way. Snez Live 1556 says, considering my measure on how good the economy is depends upon the spending power of the dollar, and considering the value of the dollar just becoming less and less each passing year, the economy is going to be worse next year. A lot of layoffs going on in unrelated sectors. And Richard Lee 3502 says, it won't improve until we have a general election.
All right.
Okay.
Abby, and that's Graham in the background for all you newbies.
Today.
Hi, Graham.
Hi, Graham.
He's one of our producers here at Fox 10.
It takes a mighty big team to get this show going, that's for sure. All right, sleep expert next with some tips on how to get a better night's sleep, Celeste.
All right,
we all need it.
We'll be right back. All right. Good morning, everyone. We are back. It is 10:45 on your Monday. And if you're just kind of turning the TV on,
or YouTube.
Or YouTube.
Or the Fox Local app.
Or Roku or
Yeah,
whatever.
Or your phone.
Or whatever you use.
Or your iPad or whatever.
We're here to brighten your day. Right, Ron?
Yeah.
We're here to help you rise and thrive and survive and get you going.
All right. So, Celeste, we need to talk about your story of the day.
Okay.
Which has to do with a college professor who used an AI trick on his entire classroom full of students at Alcorn State. It's your story. Go ahead and walk us through it.
So he posted this on TikTok, which there's a lot of professors that use TikTok for different reasons, maybe to explain things, talk about study habits. They're trying to use it in a unique and positive way. Okay. So this Alcorn State professor posted this TikTok. He explained how 32 of his 35 students failed at least part of their midterm. The exam was on the Industrial Revolution, which is quite interesting when you think about it.
Oh, yes.
How America really kind of thrived during that time. Well, he says he used white fonts that students did not notice while copying and pasting the instructions into some of those programs and software that you can
they're going to use to then fulfill the assignment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the font prompted a nonsensical digression about Madagascar into the essay, which wasn't a part of the actual assignment.
Madagascar was not the originator of the Industrial Revolution?
No, it was not. So students,
this is hilarious.
Students who failed clearly didn't check to see if the paper made sense. So what they did was they copy and pasted, threw it into one of those AI software models, and then they copied that and pasted it into the actual assignment that was due. And so they didn't read through the whole thing.
And so if Madagascar showed up in any of their entries, boom! He basically proved they're not writing it. They're letting some machine write it for them.
And there's only 3 students who got it right, who actually passed, or who actually read through to make sure they proofed it.
Right.
To make sure it didn't say something about Madagascar in the actual assignment.
Gee whiz.
So anyways,
how brilliant on his part.
Yeah. He's a pretty smart guy there at Alcorn State University.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so Celeste, as we move on here, we only have about 10 minutes left.
What? Time went by so fast this morning.
It really has been a great show. There's no doubt about that. But this story coming in about the guy who hit the fire hydrant, did you hear about this?
This is crazy.
Okay. Now, there's where it happened. This is what happened. The guy is going to face a felony charge because he's doing donuts out in the middle of the intersection and left behind quite a mess. Gabriel Haynes, according to police, allegedly innocent till proven guilty, was doing donuts when he lost control and slammed right into a fire hydrant, of all things, Celeste. And then the next thing you know, the water, they got to close up the street. It eats up police time. It's a big mess. The roads department, city maintenance workers got to get out there on Grove Parkway, which is there near Kyrene and Elliott.
Yeah.
Man.
What a bummer, man.
Every day I say the same thing, Celeste. There's something new in this business you've never heard of before. Let's face it, people do donuts. They shouldn't.
No, yeah.
Not even in a parking lot, but definitely not out in the middle of an intersection. And if you're going to do it and hit a fire hydrant, be ready for the consequences.
Let's eat donuts, not do donuts. That's my rule.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this sleep story, Ron.
Okay.
How much sleep do you get? And how much do you get? Maybe put it in the chat.
Here's how I would like to answer that one. I wake up every 2 hours.
Oh, you do?
It's been going on for a really long time.
Ron.
I don't know.
Do you do your magnesium at night?
Yes, that helps.
That helps?
But it gives me the strangest dreams.
Oh,
I'm
good
like,
dreams?
I don't even, sometimes.
Why am I waking up I'm flying through caves.
Oh, it's usually trouble. Yeah, flying through a cave. Have you dreamt about flying in a cave?
No, I just am thinking I saw the Odyssey over the weekend, so maybe it's like all this like fantasy I'm thinking of.
They do say that if you dream about flying, you're happy with the way life is going.
Oh, yeah. Okay, then maybe that's true.
Good.
Okay, so listen, this is a big debate about sleep, and it's making headlines, in fact, around the world. Japan's prime minister, she's been very vocal about this. She said she gets between 0 and 3 hours of sleep. 0 And I did a little research. She actually was not feeling well too long ago, and she said she had a cold, but sleep helps us heal.
Oh, yeah.
Our brains reset. And we spoke to a sleep expert this morning who said she likens it to what a phone does. Like when you have to reset your phone, you put your phone away for the night, you let it charge overnight, not near you, your body needs to recharge too.
That was good. Here she is.
I think if you're a shift worker like you, you definitely absolutely have to get that nap in, because, when you're waking up at 2 a.m. to be on set by 5 a.m., it doesn't really, work to go to bed at, 4 p.m. or something, right? So, yes, I definitely think napping is always best if you are able to get that full 7 hours in overnight.
Okay, so we have about 30 seconds left. Give us one tip if you can in terms of maybe, is it creating that nighttime routine right before we head on into bed?
Power down hour. Turn all your electronics off and make sure that your phone is away from your bed so that you can get that full night's rest without that phone interrupting your sleep.
Seems
That's
like good advice.
Tip. Oh, right. Yeah, really great advice.
I keep my phone about 2 feet away from me.
And I now have a weighted eye mask.
Oh.
That has really helped.
Really? I'm a big believer in face masks, too.
I started using that, and it completely changed my nighttime routine. We have Paul Humphrey says 2 to 4 hours with melatonin. That's not much time. Charles David says 5 to 6 hours is not enough.
And Charles also says loves Bosa donuts. Charles always helping to steer us into the food chat.
I know, right? I was watching an interview with the Japanese Prime Minister, and some of her cohorts were laughing in the background when she said this, because I think she was half joking. She was being a little sarcastic, but she said, work, 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 work. Our culture, we're hard workers. Yeah. We need to keep working. True. We need to make things better. But 0 to 3 hours of sleep, if you're not careful.
I don't know how she's doing it.
Yeah, I know. It's really wild. So we hope you guys get some sound sleep and maybe take some of that melatonin and magnesium and the whole thing.
And if you get some weird dreams, we're not responsible for that.
No, but we do want you to share them with us.
That would be a great topic for the chat. We are the most interactive show you can find anywhere on streaming. And that's do you have a story or two to share about weird dreams, especially if you took melatonin? We want to hear it.
Do you know the voicemail number? Is it 602-262?
That part's correct. 602-262. 0428?
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay. 0428. Go to our voicemail and share with us what's a crazy dream that you've had.
I hope that's not the phone number of the lady who lives across the street. But anyway. Okay, Celeste, on this day in history, we have a Wilbur and you know me, I'm a little bit of a history nerd,
yes,
so we have an update for you on Wilbur and Orville Wright. Okay, now here's the situation. Everybody, I think, by now knows the story. They invented flight.
Yes.
And this is it. As they were out there at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, that might be a later one, because when the very first time they flew, you had to kind of lie down and just kind of hope that you could direct it. The first time, I believe, was for 12 seconds. And so, it was 12 seconds, and they went about 100 feet. I mean, maybe a third the distance of a football field. That was December the 17th, 1903.
Okay.
So why are we talking about them today? It was on this day, a few years later, that Orville flew a much longer flight. Here's my question for you. So 1909.
1909, a few years later. Okay.
Yeah. On this day in 1909, he flew a longer flight. This is 6 years after they went 12 seconds.
Okay.
How long do you think? And by the way, he was testing the Army's first attempt at an airplane.
Just remarkable.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 2 minutes.
Okay. It was 1 hour and 9 minutes.
Oh my gosh, I'm all choked up about it.
Just think, in 6 years, we went from barely being able to get off the ground, like some kind of a hang glider for a couple of seconds there, to being able to fly. There's the shot right there. That is so cool.
It is.
Still on my bucket list to go there for sure. But anyway, all these, in 6 years, then he proved that you could fly for an hour. How have your flight experiences, Celeste, been lately? Have you been having good ones or bad ones or what?
Yeah, I've been having good ones. I've been having pretty good flight experiences.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so simple. Just take off on time, and land on time.
And
that's all we ask.
I think the thing that is a little frustrating as a traveler, and you guys can share this as well, but unfortunately, I'm a carry-on person. I don't like to check bags. You know, because I don't want to deal with the baggage, and I just want to get off and go, because then you got to find the baggage claim, and you're waiting. Anyways, but the carry-on luggage has the size that they are now asking you to bring on as a carry-on. It's smaller. It's like everything has gotten smaller. The number of chips in the bag is smaller. The number of bread in the bag is smaller. The size of the carry-on smaller. And when we're expanding, Ron, we are a great value here at Fox 10. Here at FTT, we are continuing to expand.
Yes. Now, I will just say one thing about all of that, Celeste, which is at least we have one expansion to talk about. That's Jacoby Brissett's paycheck.
Woo!
He just got paid, and paid big time. You know, the word is they want him to be the starter. He's like, well, then you're going to pay me starter money. I don't know what he was at. You know, could have been $4 or $5 million, something like that. But I believe I saw the number of $15 million.
For how many years?
It's a 1-year deal.
It's a 1-year deal.
They're like, okay, we'll give you a lot of money, but you got to prove it to us, right?
He's pretty experienced, though. Been in the league a while.
Yes,
Jacoby Brissett. He was like a backup to Kyler Murray.
Sure.
And, you know, to lead a team is a big deal. And it's a lot of hard work.
And here's the thing. I snapped that photo, Celeste, when I was in Canton, Ohio. The Cardinals' first football game of the year is 10 days away.
Wow.
And it's going to be played right there at that stadium in Canton, which, of course, is where the Hall of Fame is. And they call it the Hall of Fame game. And once again, the Cardinals have been invited to be part of it. It's going to be us against the Carolina Panthers. And the starters don't play a lot. But I'm totally fascinated to see how Carson Beck does. He was their big draft pick. You know, and they have Jeremiah Love, that star running back from Notre Dame.
I love him. His name is the best.
Oh, Celeste, there you go. So anyway, Hall of Fame game 10 days away. Jacoby Brissett gets the bag of money. And it's all good for the Cardinals.
He's all that in a bag of chips, Ron, as they say. Here's another live look here at Michigan, and we still appreciate you hanging with us this morning. Anita and Irene, they are next. Have a great day.
I'm not sure who's the brightest. Maybe
you, Irene, today.
Maybe. All right, let me make sure I'm marked. There we go.
I haven't done the roots in a while. I'm going to go darkest probably.
The blondes who babble, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for staying with us this morning on a Monday, 11 o'clock. Weather, we wanted to talk about that because that extreme heat warning.
Yeah, it was hot this weekend, right?
It was hot outside today, too. Oh my God, was it out there? It was tad humid for me.
I know. Yeah. I've been feeling for you guys out in the field because it's like literally I'm checking the temperature and it's 98 at 8 a.m. already. It's like, oh, this is so brutal.
It was tough this weekend. I'm not going to lie. Saturday night, I think I posted on my Instagram, we were running some errands like 5-ish, and it just started getting really dark and really, really windy.
Yes,
and we
the
had
wind's really cranked up.
Couple of raindrops, but nothing to write home
the storm,
about.
the actual rain was like hit or miss. Some people did get some pretty heavy rain, but then a lot of us got the very strong winds and like the dust, and it was just like, ugh. And the one thing it did is ruin people's plans to try to get in the pool. They're like, okay, it was already hot all day, and now I can't even get in the pool. But we are looking at temperatures that are still very hot throughout the week. So take a look. The temperature right now is 101. That's the current temp. It is 11:01 in the morning, so no surprise that later today we'll be back to like 110 plus territory. 80 already in Flag. We're at 82 in Show Low. We're in the low 90s in Globe. Now we've got that extreme heat warning that's in place through today. You can see everywhere shaded in pink, and then as we go into the next several days through Wednesday, the valley as well as along the western edge of both of Yuma and La Paz County, we also have extreme heat warnings in place. So really the next several days the temperatures are going to be pressing the boundary. But I will say the next couple of days there's that low chance for some storm activity that could tamp down the temperature slightly, and I do expect that the heat warning will be extended through the rest of the week because the temperatures only get hotter towards the end of the week. They don't improve towards the end of the week. The reason being that this area of high pressure that's domed over really like all of south central parts of the country here, it is going to be shifting our direction. So right now, at least it's in a slightly favorable position for some monsoonal moisture to flow in. But as it starts to Thursday into Friday cap on top of us, so like it's sitting right on us, it really acts as a lid. So it blocks much of the storm potential and it makes us even hotter. And that's what I'm expecting to happen Thursday into Friday. So this is towards the end of the week. Our forecast goes to 113 Thursday, 116 Friday, and 115 Saturday. I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but if you're trying to make weekend plans, yet again, this is going to be another brutal weekend where we may tie or break the record, especially Friday and Saturday. I know. Isn't that so annoying?
You got to get out really early, right?
Even in the mornings, it'll be probably like middle 90s at the best, like at our low point, quote unquote. Sure, the outskirts of the valley, the temperature's a little more comfortable, maybe like upper 80s or 90, but all in all, it's just going to be very hot throughout the week ahead. The saving grace over the next couple of days is just that there is a chance of a few scattered storms. So this is this afternoon, scattered storms mostly in the high country, the White Mountains, the Mogollon Rim, and parts of Yavapai, Coconino counties. Like we've seen the last few days, there's at least a chance that the outflows or the winds from these thunderstorms could run down from the northern storms and run up from the southern storms and try to give us at least some clouds and wind by tonight, but possibly some scattered storms approaching. I actually think the storm potential is going to be strongest Tucson southward, but can't rule out that overnight, this is around 11 p.m. on this model, that some of those storms could roll on through. And then a few models do have tomorrow morning, some passing scattered showers throughout the morning. So about a 20% chance tomorrow morning as well, before those chances kind of fizzle for the valley and linger up in the high country tomorrow afternoon as well. So storm chances, again, are not great, but they're at least present. Here's the look at the highs for everyone today around the state. You get 111 in the valley, 114 down in Gila Bend and up at Bullhead City, 83 up in Flagstaff, 91 in Payson. And then the 10-day forecast, let me scroll down to it for you guys to show you. The numbers, like I said, only go up after that small dip tomorrow. That dip only happens if we do get some clouds and shower in the morning. Otherwise, it'll still be like another 110 and 111 day, and then just climbing into the weekend. And even next week, we're at like 110 plus. So it's fairly consistent, just hot as we end July and head into August. I don't have a lot of great news.
We were talking about it earlier, but what is the deciding factor for them to continue and drop these warnings?
Well, if you the heat warning.
Yeah, the heat warning.
So I think part of it is they just like to wait until they're a little closer to the actual event before they issue the next round of warnings. So like they just extended through Tuesday and Wednesday, but I do think that they will eventually extend through Thursday and Friday at minimum, but probably even into the weekend. Usually for the valley, although there is some nuance to the National Weather Service choosing to do these alerts, that 110 threshold tends to be like a pretty good indicator that they're probably going to extend a heat warning, because that's when it does truly become dangerous for folks to be outside for extended periods of time.
So we'll see you here every single day this week.
Oh,
again.
great. Everybody's going to hate me by Friday.
Your standing invitation. Thank you, Crystal. Always really important. Let's move on to what we're reading today, you guys. A couple of things that we've been able to pull off the website that you guys are keeping your eyes on this Monday morning. So our first story that everyone is looking at is surveillance video captures Tucson mass shooting suspect opening fire, and he gets shot by police. So this is brand new video. The suspect is David Leroy French, opened fire, critically injured 9 people in Tucson last Sunday. We were talking about this all last week.
Yeah, this is such a big story, and I was off last weekend too, and then I came back and it's what everyone was talking about in the newsroom. So definitely very sad, so we heard about facing 19 total felony counts in that case. Now that includes aggravated assault along with discharging a firearm at a structure.
Okay, so the number 2 story that you guys are reading on our website, Arizona man gets 18 years in prison for stabbing a 16-year-old boy to death. Pretty shocking. This happened in Page, Arizona. The adult acquaintance is Jared Turquoise. He was asked to leave the residence, and that didn't quite happen.
Yeah, well, he fled the scene, then went to tribal lands where he was arrested by Navajo police. At that point, he later confessed to Page detectives. Now, at this point, pleading guilty to second-degree murder, and has been sentenced to 18 years in state prison. Always said anytime anything with a child too, or juvenile.
Absolutely. And finally, a hiker found beyond resuscitative measures on South Mountain. This is the National Trail on South Mountain. This was Saturday evening. You were on this
I was
all
on
morning.
the story this morning. Yeah, so he went out around 5 o'clock in the morning. No one heard from him, reported him missing around 2 o'clock, and it was actually a biker that found him unconscious. So very sad.
It is sad, and keep in mind, folks, that right now when we're in this extreme heat warning, the trails are closed throughout the day.
Yeah,
so
today 8 to 5.
8 to 5. Camelback Mountain, Payastawa.
South Mountain, and then I forget what the other one was listed today. Yeah, there were a few.
It's super dangerous. So we're going to introduce you guys to our next guest. This is Dr. Bonnie LaFleur. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
What a treat to have you. You want to talk about aging. You're with the University of Arizona, and you're going to tell us how we can stay healthier and look better longer, and we love you for that.
Well, we're really focused on helping people be resilient as they age. People are living longer, but our goal is to actually help them live healthier.
Okay, I didn't have a chance to look this up, but we had a story last week that said people are living longer, but their quality of life isn't necessarily better. They're not necessarily healthier. So we have all these peptides that people are taking, heavy protein diets, high protein diets, where people are being encouraged to up that protein, lift those weights. Do any of those things make a difference and help? Or, do you have other suggestions?
Well, absolutely they help. We know this, but kind of one of the I guess I would say, aspects that are leading to the type of work that we're doing is there are people who are living, these super agers. They're living 70, 80 years old. And what really identifies those super agers is they don't have very many comorbidities. So a lot of the things that you were talking about are things that you need to start fairly early in life and kind of keep them as a consistent pattern. And that certainly will help your health span. And always, even if you didn't start earlier, whenever you start exercising and eating better, you're going to be feeling better. For us, what we're really interested in is finding out what are some of the aspects of those super agers that we can actually harness for everyone so that most people will start to look like those super agers as they get older.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about, as Anita mentioned, those peptides, those supplements. What are some other things? Like we see so many people now on social media, those wellness influencers talking about, people doing marathons, they're doing all these weight training. What are some things that you're seeing that are actually beneficial? I think especially for women, we see so many people talking about, hey, women weightlifting, preventing things like osteoporosis and things like that age us.
And how much is too much of a good thing?
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm probably not the best person to talk about that.
I know. I do too much. Me too. Yeah.
Runners get into running that's probably not in the healthiest range, to be honest. But it's probably something is always better than nothing. But what we're looking at is we're looking at a drug called rapamycin that a lot of people are taking off-label. So it's very similar to the peptides that you're talking about, except that this is actually a drug that needs prescription. And a lot of people have been taking this drug off-label, and what we're doing is we're doing one of the first phase 3 randomized, double-blinded, placebo-controlled trials of low-dose rapamycin in older adults. And what we're trying to do is see if we can improve immune health, which is, we think, one of the primary drivers that would lead one to be more like those superagers that I spoke about.
So we have about a little less than a minute. What is this drug then, really quickly, and how do people get in touch with you guys, maybe participate in this study?
Yeah, so the drug is called rapamycin, and it was a drug, is a drug that's used in organ transplant.
Wow.
And we are giving it at a much, much, much lower dose than organ transplantation. And our participants will be receiving 8 milligrams per week dose, which is much less than the dosing that you would get if you were having an solid organ transplant. And you can contact us by doing a search on resiliency study at University of Arizona.
We're going to be living to about 150 pretty soon.
That'd be great, wouldn't
it? Thank you, doctor. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was nice speaking with you guys.
Thank you. Wow, look at that. There's always something, right?
Always something new to learn about.
Okay, before we head to break, you have not experienced what years was it? Question yet, have you?
No, I haven't. I haven't done that yet.
Okay, so we're going to do the big unveiling. Here's the big new graphic.
That looks great.
Doesn't it?
I don't quite look like Ty.
And the question is, what year was it when Prince Charles and Princess Diana were married? We have about 20 seconds, Irene. What's your guess?
I am going to guess 1995. I'm not sure.
I remember when Princess Diana was tragically killed. I'm going to say 84. I don't know. Go ahead and guess. We love to hear from everyone. But remember, no cheating, no Googling. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back in, everyone. We have some really great guesses. Linda says 1980. Thomas says 1997. Jennifer, 22, says 84. That's what I said. That was my guess, 84. Louis Gonzalez says 82. We have a 1988. We have maybe an 81. You guys are really good guessers. Very, very close. You guessed.
Well, I thought about it after. I'm like, wait, no, that wasn't right. Because I was like, wait a second. You have William and Harry that are way older than what I would have guessed right there. So I'm going to change it to.
Oh, we're not allowed to change it.
I can't change it 10 years previously? Okay.
No.
All right. So we're going to see what it actually is.
You said 95.
I said 95.
I
meant
said
85.
84. And the answer, you guys, are you ready? There we go.
81.
1981. That was close.
Yeah,
Not
you were
too
very
bad.
close. You're like 3
they
years
were
off.
married specifically July 29th, 1981 at St. Paul's Cathedral in London. Diana was only 20 years old.
So young.
I know. And Prince Charles was 32 years old.
Yeah,
Wow.
there was an age gap there.
It was iconic. It was iconic. Okay, so we have a really fun guest to introduce you to. Sergio is here with the Phoenix Mission.
Yes.
Really, really fantastic organization year-round, but especially when the temps are this hot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we run a seasonal Code Red campaign, and really what we're trying to do is just get the community's help, anybody who's looking to help in the cause that we do. And one of the main things we do is we outreach the homeless population, and so just asking for their help in collecting water bottles so that we can go out and just offer that as a way to sort of connect with people who are on the streets.
How tough is it during this time of year in the summer? How much are you struggling with, especially this past weekend? It's been so hot out.
Yeah, it's certainly a challenge. I mean, consider the case manager who's going out there each and every day, 7 days a week. It's challenging just to meet them where they're at. And unfortunately for the unhoused population, they're going through this 24/7 without any relief overnight either. And so, the hurdles are many, and so what we want to do is just have a meaningful conversation with people when we do meet them, and just figure out how we can help and see if they're ready to take those steps.
Let's backtrack.
Yeah.
When was the Phoenix Rescue Mission started, and what was the original goal?
Wow, that's a great question. Put me on the spot here.
I think Google it.
Yeah, I think it was 1960s, maybe 1970s, if I'm not mistaken.
It's been around for a long time.
Yes.
But you guys have been around, and that mission has stayed very, very strong and probably grown, just like your outreach has.
It's grown tremendously, and I'm actually a graduate of the men's program. So
Good for you.
I used to be on the streets almost 6 years. Don't know how I did it, looking back now, but God certainly established my steps and led me to a place like that where I can get healing and recovery, and I'm going on 8 years in recovery.
Let's talk a little. It's 1952 is when it was first opened. You guys, how much of your story do you want to share? Are you originally from Phoenix?
Yes.
And what led you to saying, this is where I'm going to be. This is the life that I'm going to lead.
Yeah. I think what really led me is I just came to the end of myself. Yes, I'm born and raised here, so I know all about how hot it gets, and but I was struggling with drugs and alcohol and among other things in the lifestyle on the streets, and so really it was just a prayer to God to see if He's willing to help me, and He certainly showed Himself to be real. And in a powerful way, where He led me to a place like the Phoenix Rescue Mission, where I lived there for 2 years. And so I was able to get one-on-one counseling, eventually go through vocational development, and it was really a calling, just going back into prayer and see what God has in store for me, rather than just kind of making my own decisions, right?
And that's the hardest part is, I guess, giving control to God and just saying, let go, let God, and this is what it needs to be.
Yeah, it's challenging because I'm super self-centered and I just want to do things
we all are, right? We all think we know what's best for us, and it's sometimes stopping to listen to a volunteer like yourself or an employee of the Phoenix Rescue Mission who says, I can help.
That's right, and that's a lot of reasons why they get people like us is because we've been there. And so we can tell the person who's living on the streets, like, hey, I get it, and we're just here to help.
Yeah. You have kits that you pass out. You have water bottles that you pass out. You brought one of the kits. People can actually make these at home and bring them to you?
Yeah. So if they check out our website, phoenixrescuemission.org, there's a number of ways that people can look at making these kits, you know, if they have a group that wants to get together or however they see fit. Or they could, you know, even considering the water too, they can do a water drive. So anything like that where you can create hygiene kits, maybe do a water drive. They can get connected to phoenixrescuemission.org, or for our Code Red efforts, they can go to phxmission.org /Code Red.
These are things like sunblock or chapstick, I mean, you don't think about.
Yeah. I mean, it's huge. I mean, usually they have things like sunblock, chapstick, toothbrushes, toothpaste. It really varies. And so this one has a cooling rack, some sunglasses.
So that helps.
Yeah. And they can be seasonal too. So like you know, winter months, you might have some gloves or a heating blanket, things like that. So socks are a big deal.
I was just going to ask you about that. I've seen volunteers packing, and a lot of them say socks are so essential. People don't realize because you're walking so much.
Yeah.
That you do need a little bit of protection on your feet.
Oh, for sure. And we're meeting so many people throughout the months, and so we don't do this alone. And so we need all the community support, and just looking to see how they can get them involved.
How much of a difference do you think it makes, you know, having someone like yourself rather than, you know, any average volunteer, someone who's been through it, connect with these people?
Yeah, I think that it just comes down to that, is bridging that gap, right, making a connection. And so I certainly would not be here if I was not inspired by somebody else's story. And I thought, if that person can do it, why not me?
That's wonderful. Yeah, it really is. How do people get a hold of you guys? How do they volunteer? How do they help make a difference?
Yeah, I think the easiest way is just to check out our website, phoenixrescuemission.org, and /Code Red for our heat relief efforts. We really have an ambitious goal this summer. We want to hit 2 million water bottles.
Wow. So. What'd you do last year? Do you know?
We did about over 1 million, and so even that was an ambitious goal. We want to double that.
That's a great goal.
Yeah, so we want to continue to just make an impact out there.
It's hot. Yeah, thank you so much for your time. We'll make sure to get all that info.
Thank you very much.
Speaking of outside and the heat, just giving you guys a live look outside, Crystal was talking about the dangerous extreme heat and how that warning has been extended for the next couple of days, and then it's just going to continue to get hotter. So we want to continue spreading the good word with our next guest. And so we want to say good morning to Tammy. You are with the Women's Hope Center.
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. You guys also do really great selfless work for the community.
Thank you. We're pretty passionate.
Yeah.
Our vision is that no woman or teen girl in Arizona would have to face a crisis alone. And so we live out that vision through our 7 day centers across Arizona and more than 60 pop-up sites. And our mission is, how do we engage, encourage, and equip women and teen girls in any difficult life situation.
So when you say you don't want anyone to face a crisis alone, what is a crisis?
So it could be anything. It could be a single mom, I'm struggling. It could be I'm in a domestic violence situation, I need help. I could be struggling with an addiction, not having a job, in a trafficking situation. It can be anything from, I am alone, I'm isolated, I don't have any resources or support, or like I need to escape from with my life, with my kids. So.
Wow. And then tell us too, I know you have a fundraiser that's coming up on August 1st. That's a big thing. Tell us what's about that. What do people need to know if they want to come and help?
So that's our Petals and Prosecco event, and that's we are all about women empowering women. So that's a fun event where women can come. They can buy a ticket, they come with friends, they have a little glass of bubbly, a little light bite, and then they're going to learn how to arrange flowers. We're also all about bringing beauty. We teach flower arranging classes for the women that we serve, and so it's fun for the community too.
I was there last week at the center, and there were women coming in and out for various classes, and that's a big thing. So they can attend classes, they can earn points, and they can do a little bit of shopping. So first of all, talk to us about the types of classes you offer, who is eligible, how they, and And then take us through that process of earning points and shopping.
Yep. So the thing I love about Hope is that any woman or teen girl is welcome to walk in anytime. They don't have any kind of eligibility criteria. We just want to be there to serve. And our classes are all based around physical, emotional, and spiritual health. So we have everything from parenting class to flower arranging to an exercise class to healing from trauma, healing from abuse, getting a job. We have over 15 programs that are free to women. And every time she's there, she's earning points. And that's where you were talking about with the shopping, which is so nice. It's very empowering for her. The more that she earns points, the more that she invests in herself and in her healing, then she's able to use those points to shop. And each of our centers has a boutique. And she can get clothes, food, toiletries, basics for her family, but she's providing it.
How empowering is that for these women to not only just be given it, hey, they're working for it, they're shopping it with points that they earned.
Yes, it is very empowering. And I tell people, as a single mom, I raised my kids as a single mom, and there's just something, I was always very blessed to have a lot of support, but to be able to do something myself, like I've invested, I'm getting healing, I'm breaking these cycles of abuse, then how do I get to provide for my family at the same time?
Yeah, that's incredible.
It's a lot of confidence.
You guys have been around for how long? How many women do you think that you've actually been able to help?
We've been around for 42 years.
Wow.
In the 14 years that I've been at Hope, we've grown from 1 center to now 7 and are working on that statewide mission. So I would say easily 15,000 plus women through the years, just in the 14 years I've been here. But hopefully this year we'll hit over 3,000. And then just every woman, you change a woman's life, you're impacting her family, her kids, and our communities.
You mentioned that you have the centers, and I think when we were visiting last week, when I was live out there with you, you mentioned that you have a service where you try to go to them as well. How does that work if someone is watching and may know someone who needs a hand up?
So on our website, all of our pop-up sites are listed, as well as our physical centers. What we love about that is we know that women are in crisis don't always know there's a Hope Women's Center, I can go get help. So instead, if they find one of our sites, it's a library, it's a resource center, it's a domestic violence shelter, it's a food bank, then our staff is there and can meet them right where they are, where they're going for support, and be able to provide that to them.
And we obviously have that fundraiser this Saturday, August 1st, but if people want to help in any other capacity, they want to volunteer, donate, how can they do that?
Yes, so hopewomencenter.org lets you know all the different ways. We are 90% volunteers from the community. All of the material resources we give, the food, the clothes, the toiletries, comes from donations from the community. And then our big fundraiser after August 1st is September the 19th, and that's our gala. And that's also a huge fundraiser, and they can buy tickets, tables, all of that information's on our website.
Okay, what's that website one more time?
hopewomencenter.org.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much for what you guys do. It's such an important
Thank you for helping us bring that awareness to the community.
Thank you for sharing your story, too, as a single mom yourself.
Yeah, that's not easy. We'll put all that info up, you guys. The flower bouquet is beautiful. And I know someone who texted me and said, I'm going to go do that for my birthday. It's a girls' night out, right?
So exciting.
Yeah.
Yes,
so Des and Ron are next. We will be back here tomorrow. Enjoy your afternoon. Stay cool and safe.
Thank you, guys.
11:30. Hey, everybody. It's Ron and Des. There's a news conference underway in Seattle having to do with that just horrific shooting, the mass shooting. The chief of police of the city speaking. Let's listen.
The tension here between providing information quickly and providing information accurately.
Sorry, this is the mayor now, Katie Wilson.
Up to the minute, everything that we were hearing and the swirl that happened last night, there would have been a lot of inaccuracies out there that would have confused people and that we then would have had to correct. So we are managing this tension, and we are doing the best that we can to provide accurate information in a timely manner without increasing confusion.
Is there a reason Seattle wasn't used? You have a text from your emergency response where you can, during an emergency, send text messages out to a lot of people. Is there a reason that no text messages were sent out? Seems like that could have been a way to notify people quickly.
I'm not sure that that's a tool that we normally use in situations like this.
Well, it claims the website says it's used for emergencies. It seems like it's probably a pretty serious emergency.
I think we were focusing on getting accurate information out through our normal communications channels, and also not creating undue fear and confusion.
Can we talk a little bit more about...
We were told on the scene around 11 o'clock, right before the press conference started, that they're waiting for dignitaries to show up. So a lot of people in the public right now believe the reason why there was a 5-hour delay was because we had politicians who wanted to get in front of the cameras. I want to get you on the record. Is that true? Was the delay at all to do with because you needed politicians to get in front of the camera?
No, that is absolutely not the case. Okay, so as I stated before, last night at Seattle Center, what we had was a scene of an active investigation where SPD was searching the grounds for a possible second suspect, and there are times when elected officials' presence is not helpful, and that was one of those times. We don't want our law enforcement distracted taking care of elected officials when they have work to do.
But there was no direction from Governor Ferguson's office or Camilla Giappo's office to wait to do the press conference until they got to the scene.
As soon as we coordinated with SPD and agreed that it was time to talk to the media, as soon as we knew that we were going to be doing that, I and Governor Ferguson and Congresswoman Jayapal arrived on the scene within minutes.
So you can say his office unequivocally did not tell you to wait?
No, absolutely not.
So then what was the delay? Because there's basic information, and I know SPD has gotten training on this and paid a pretty penny for it. What was the delay in the basics, the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s of what happened? You had people running, you had people shot on the ground with bullet holes in their backs, covered in white sheets, and we are sitting here waiting, and the only thing that we had was a tweet and people who were afraid and a lot of information on social media filling the vacuum. So why is it that citizens in the city of Seattle had to wait for almost 5 hours to get answers about something so serious that's made national headlines?
Yeah, I mean, my office put out a statement at 8:30, which again included an initial inaccuracy. So again, this speaks to the tension between providing information early and providing it accurately. So we, along with SPD, were trying to manage that tension, and we got information out to you all as soon as we possibly could.
Okay, I think that's pretty good. So thank you so much for coming today.
Okay, you've been listening to the live news conference. That was Katie Wilson. She's the relatively new mayor in the city of Seattle. She made a lot of headlines when she was voted in over the previous mayor, a guy named Bruce Harrell, who had won election prior, had been in the community for a very long time. She's a little bit more of a political novice, but how she is handling this situation is apparently somewhat, Des, under the microscope, because there sounds to me like there's a firestorm of questions about why did it take 5 hours to get information out to the public.
Yeah, you heard that last question there, maybe from a presumably from a reporter there at that press conference. You know, you can hear the tension and the directness in that question being asked, why was there such a lapse in time of getting important information out to the public? She is the 58th mayor of Seattle, like you mentioned, kind of a novice, was elected at some point last year. But yeah, just a horrifying situation. We have, 3 people who were killed in all of this, 5 people hurt. And I think the big shocker out of the headlines and what's coming out out of Seattle is that, one of those heard is a toddler. So then when you hear that, it really is, drawing at and pulling at all those emotional, tugging at all those emotions. But a lot of questions there as to why some of that important critical information wasn't out, as soon as possible. And like she said, you're walking the fine line of, just throwing information out there, making sure it's accurate. But as the mayor of a city, you should have a clear line of direct communication, I would think, to at least the chief in that department who is getting that information out.
I had to go look at a map to figure out where at the Seattle Center. I grew up a fan of the Seattle Sonics, and you just walk right across that plaza area where that was happening yesterday to enter into what's now called the Climate Pledge Arena, which is where the hockey team, the Kraken, play. Just a super concentrated area just sort of north of the downtown, between downtown and Queen Anne Hill. And there would have been hundreds, if not thousands, of people there either for this event or just tourists to see the Space Needle, because it's only just steps away from the Space Needle. So sounds like we're going to be following that and learning a lot more. Meantime, for us, Des, we had this story this morning. Our Tom Fergus got out there so fast, and it really, because he got there so quick and the fire was just raging, it was a really good example, I think, of what our firefighters sometimes are up against when they get out to a house that's fully engulfed.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, can you imagine, arriving to a scene and having to deal with this? But they are professionals. They certainly know how to handle it. And when we took live pictures just before 5, this is what we were seeing. I mean, this, fire was raging on pretty aggressively, but they got that out pretty quickly. Yeah. Right? I mean, I think before 5:30, things certainly had changed in this situation here. And as we saw, obviously it looks like there was a lot of other items surrounding this house that I'm sure they were pretty focused on and concerned about as well. I mean, look at that. You've got a vehicle sitting right there, so close. But they did a great job.
And as junky as the yard was, you don't know if you're going to, if there's a propane tank nearby, things along those lines. So, it's a dicey situation. And, of course, the very first item of business is to make sure that everybody got out. We have not heard of any injuries or deaths or anything along those lines, but we are going to continue to work the story for you as the morning goes on. If you're at all familiar with New River, it's at around Central Avenue and Honda Bow Road. It really is. You're just on the very far northern edge of the metro. And so you're getting up into the high deserts. There's some desert mountains up through. It's such a beautiful area, but in a lot of cases, there are no fire hydrants.
Yeah, they had to bring the water in. So that's a big challenge right there, right before you even start fighting this thing. And we spoke to the captain this morning as well.
That was probably our hardest issue with this fire was access. It was unfortunately fully involved when we did arrive. Crews were just unable to kind of get directly into the spots that they were attempting to get to really make a good turn on this fire. Luckily, all secondary structures and all brush was contained and all exposures were protected by our crews. So all in all, we did a really good job this morning, and unfortunately the access just made it difficult. So the original dispatch due to the automatic aid system is pretty bolstered up with engines and tenders, that would be our water trucks that we use to water shuttle to these incidents. But we did add some additional units, especially as the morning progressed and the weather started to get hotter, and due to firefighter fatigue, we were able to add some units onto that just to protect our own.
Okay, I do think it would be a fascinating story that we could do in the news business to figure out imagine it's already tough enough to fight a fire like this. It's early morning, you're trying to get the right number of resources out there. Then you also have to coordinate with these trucks. You got to keep bringing the water in. I mean, it's a big job, and you got to give them credit for getting out there. What you can't really see, and you only were able to when we flew Skyfox up and overhead, was that there are actually other, I don't know if they're businesses or homes, but there are other buildings pretty close by. And, that's one of the secondary jobs, is to make sure that the fire doesn't spread, particularly in windy conditions, to a second home or business, anything along those lines.
Absolutely. They did a great job. Yeah, really great work by all our first responders.
Yep, no kidding. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about what's going on with our gas prices, and then are you guys ready to go with the Zoom? I'm just looking over at Neil. Is it a thumbs up?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to it right now, as a matter of fact. We have Mike Basovic.
Yes.
Mike, did we get your name correct?
You did. Thank you.
Okay.
Many people don't, but you did.
The stress levels of Americans, I get a sense, are pretty high. But you can help people through that. Tell us about it.
I do help people through that. In fact, we just had a tornado come through my area. We lost a couple of trees and all of our power. That's why I'm holding my phone on the Zoom right now. But no stress here. Just so 80.
Where are you, by the way? What area were you hit?
Chicago suburbs.
Okay.
And we just had a monster storm. We blasted everything, and I had to get here on Zoom, but I'm here, and I'm grateful. Thanks for having me.
Wow.
Yeah,
all right.
So you're the founder of No Limits Nation and the author of a new book, The Broken Sage. So what is the No Limits Nation, and how are you trying to help all of us kind of overcome this stress and anxiety that we have?
Well, thank you for asking. So 82% of working professionals and 80% of students are stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, worried, or even what I call imposter syndrome. They just don't feel comfortable inside, inadequate for some reason. And the No Limits Nation Anxiety-Free Executive and Anxiety-Free Student programs, we help people eliminate that. Most people that are dealing with anxiety, stress, worry, all these things, they think it's a disorder. They think it's a lifetime sentence, and it's not. We teach people how to recondition, retrain their mind, and bring it to peak efficiency again, and eliminate, not distract, not do anything else, but eliminate the anxiety, the stress, the overwhelm, so they could live their best life again. That's what we've done. That's what I've done for the last 18 years.
Wow. Okay. If you don't mind, we would like you to stick around during the break. I don't know if you have a specific number of tips. I always like the top 5, something along those lines.
Yeah.
But I bet you got them. So if you'll hang with us for a couple of more minutes, then we'll take a break and be right back with Coach Mike Basovic, No Limits Nation. In the meantime, Des, look at this, would you?
There's quite a few clues here in this mystery cam.
Yeah.
Is it helping you come up with the correct answer? We shall see. Get your guesses in the chat here, and we will reveal the answer on the other side of the break.
All right, Des, what do you think?
Oh, I don't know. There's so many clues, but they're not helping me.
I feel like it's a major American city. I mean, you have obviously like a 30-story building and another 20-story building and a ballpark. And a big old river.
I know.
So let's just see.
Jenna says Chicago.
Okay.
We have another guess, Maryland, Little Philosophy. New York from Louis Gonzalez. Be Kind Forever says Wisconsin. B. Miguel, Missouri. Linda Monty, Ohio. All good guesses. Hassa says Memphis.
Wow. Okay, guess what?
I don't know. I'm stuck.
One of our great producers, Graham, is going to join us now on the Abby cam, because it used to be the Dave cam, but he's on vacay. So now it's the Abby cam. All right, Graham, you think you have an idea?
You have a good guess.
I have a guess here. I don't love this guess because I'm expecting a lot of buildings for the city. I'm thinking I'm looking at the ballpark.
Yeah.
There's one that comes to mind that has a building right up against right field like that. Baltimore, the Orioles.
Okay. All right, let's go take a look here.
I feel like Baltimore has more tall buildings than that, but based on the ballpark, I'm guessing Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah, Graham's a pretty big sports fan, so we have to give him some cred on that.
Yeah, that'd be with a little philosophy there. So.
Oh, man. So, you know what? Okay, I do have, I kind of have a guess. I'm going to go Minneapolis.
Minneapolis? I'm going to go with Maryland. I'll go a little philosophy and Graham.
The river, the Mississippi River, it flows all the way up there in the far northern part of our country. And they do have I think it's called Target, the Target Field. Do you have the mystery cam answer?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Abby, did you want to guess here? Did you have a good guess of what city this could be?
Oh, no. But here she comes,
we're getting
everybody.
Abby to guess with us
All
today.
right, here we go.
Do you want to go with...
Come on in, Abs. Abs, give him a wave.
Where's the camera?
Hello.
There you go.
Do you have a guess? Or you look. Did you look?
Oh, I didn't look, actually.
So today would have been a good guess.
So
All right,
you went
let's see.
with...
I'm going to go Maryland.
Okay, you guys are both Maryland.
Yeah,
I'm Minnesota. Let's see what happens, everybody. This is a good one, too.
Oh, guess who's right?
Okay. So that's Target Field.
Minneapolis.
Okay, but here's the hilarious part of it. I was actually there last year. I should have got it in an instant. But, so that's the ballpark, obviously, where the Twins...
What game did you see last year?
So the Twins were playing. It was August. I picked my state of the year. And last year it was Minnesota. And then here's a kind of a cool thing that you may not know, but when you walk out of the ballpark, you're right over there by where Prince used to perform. I forget the name. There's a theater right in downtown. It's like a little, kind of a cool little, almost bohemian music venue in downtown Minneapolis. I should go ask our boss.
Yeah.
He's from Minnesota.
He would know.
But that was kind of cool walking around through them. It is an amazing city, that's for sure.
Oh, that looks like they are having a beautiful day, too, actually.
Yeah.
Weather looks perfect. Mike, we didn't forget about you. We were doing our mystery cam here. We wanted to make sure that we got that answer for folks because they're passionate about this segment, Mike.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of a rivalry between Chicago and Minnesota.
I guess
more in the baseball or more in the football world, but
I guessed wrong.
Oh, yeah. Did you?
I guessed wrong.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Well, we're excited to get some of these tips from you. Maybe your best three. Do we want to start from 3 and work our way up to 2? But how can you help us feel less stressed?
Yeah, the first thing is to look at the mind not as you, but as a machine that creates your thoughts and your emotions. Okay, first thing, and it's doing it based on how it's been trained. So everything we've put into our mind throughout our entire life, going back to childhood, has created everything we are, our personality, our likes, our dislikes, our habits. So now the machine, the mind, is spitting back to you what you've given it. So picture the person that looks in the mirror every day and says they find out what's wrong with them. They're teaching the mind to find more things wrong with them. So we have to start getting healthy with the mind. We have to start, the first thing I do with my clients is I put them on a diet for the mind. And I call it the 3S, which is the staple of a diet for the mind: focus, filter, and feed. Number 1, focus on your vision. You should have a vision written. You should also have a personal mission statement, a professional mission statement. This is who I want to be in life. This is the person I want to be. These are the attributes, characteristics. Get very clear on that. And any outcomes you want to experience in your life. Focus there. The second piece is filter. Filter is what you're allowing into your mind on a daily basis. What are you reading? Who are you hanging out with? What are you watching? What are you doing on social media? Are they healthy subjects? Are they productive subjects? Are they forward-focused, end-result subjects? You have to have a strong mental filter on what you're letting in and ingesting in your mind on a daily basis, just like you would your body, no different. And the third thing is feed. Feed your mind healthy images, healthy subjects constantly. And, everyone's out there being positive. And the flaw with being positive, there's nothing wrong with being positive, but the flaw with being positive is if you're a mess inside, if you're in fear and worry and stress and anxiety, you can be positive all day long, but the machine is going to keep running that program they've trained it. So you've got to start focus, filter, and feed with a strong diet for the mind.
What do you, so kind of focusing on those points that you just gave, I love that. Focus, filter, and feed. When it comes to filtering, I feel like that would be an area of great struggle for folks, especially because my mind just goes to social media and all of the things that we consume on there, not necessarily always positive. What is the biggest hurdle that a lot of your clients are struggling with when it comes to that filter aspect?
Yeah, and a lot of them just get off social media for a while until they get their mind healthy. And a lot of them train their feed to be healthier because there's a lot of stuff on social media that's not. Don't engage. Don't comment. Don't engage in subjects that are just of discontent. It's it's just healthier. If you walk past, if you eat healthy and you walk past a bakery, everything looks really good in that bakery, but you may make a decision not to stop there and get the donuts. Right? It's the same thing. You know what's healthy and you know what's unhealthy, and if it's unhealthy for your mind, you probably should take a pass or maybe not even go there for a while. And don't get involved with subjects that you know are going to kick up some discontent, some unhappiness, if that makes sense.
Okay, so let's say you're following. People are watching this. Are like, I like what Mike is saying. I want to try to do this a little bit more, and you have a little bit of success, and then an hour later, you're criticized for something at home or at the workplace or whatever, and you start to spiral back down. How do you nip that in the bud and turn it around?
Well, there's two ways. Number one is change your focus. So it's tough. When you have an emotional experience that's unpleasant, the mind is going to keep replaying it to you, even if it's from the past, right? We go back and revisit our past because whenever you have a traumatic or an emotional experience, it leaves a bigger imprint in the mind, and the mind is going to keep replaying it. So number one is teach your mind how to focus on the things that you want. And the simple exercise I tell people, think of blue cars all morning. And when you go out on the road, you're going to see blue cars everywhere. Whatever you give your mind, the mind's job is to give it back to you. So keep feeding it those healthy things. And we have a process we call acceptance. When you're in a state of being, that's an emotional, energetic state that we're all in. It's the mood we're in any days. And your thoughts are going to reflect that, and your feelings are going to reflect your current state of being. So if you're in a state of being of fear, or to your point, criticism, inadequacy, the mind is going to keep sending you thoughts and emotions that match that. We want to get people into a state of being of flow, into a state of being of zone. And we do that, this is a really short answer to a pretty profound teaching, but it's by embracing the state of being we're in. It's okay to experience every emotion. There's no negative, positive emotions. If you fail in life or you go to a wake or a funeral, you're going to feel an emotion that's sad or failure or frustration or loss. These are all normal emotions. We're taught that there's positive and negative. It's not. Every emotion's okay to experience. So when you start to embrace those emotions and give yourself permission to experience those emotions, it moves you into a state of being that I call acceptance, which is flow. Now you're going to get more.
Don't tell me the interview has ended. I thought we got to call that shot. That's it. Interview's over. Did somebody accidentally hit a button?
That's like
oh, it timed out. Okay.
That's like the worst cliffhanger ever that we
Yeah. Well, I say it all the time.
Oh man.
Something new in this business every day. It's a streaming show. Never saw that happen before. The interview timed out. Wow.
But was into what he was saying, and it does make sense. I mean, we've had conversations like this with other guests that have been on the show as well. But from what I was taking from what he was saying there is, right, there's no positive or negative emotion, and emotion is what it is, right? Anger is anger. It's not bad nor good, to feel anger, but I get what he was saying to whatever moment you're in, it's okay to maybe tap into that emotion, accept that that's what you're feeling, and then find a productive way to work through that. It makes sense, right?
It does. It
I mean,
really
we
does.
hear it time and time again when we suppress some of our emotions or experiences that cause us to feel certain things. We've seen that time and time again where it spirals and, you just get, it can get out of control when you don't kind of address things head on. So it's making sense.
I like what he was saying there, which is you are not your mind.
Yeah.
Right? If you can step one big step back and analyze the situation of what your mind is thinking right now and then try to pull out of it with, well, he was giving us some tips and that's where we got cut off.
Yeah. But I like that. Focus.
Yeah.
Filter.
I took notes. Focus, filter,
right? Filter out whatever is causing those bad thoughts, and then feed your mind the good stuff, whatever it needs.
And those stats that he was laying down, 80% or so of people in the workplace and students are feeling stress. So, yeah.
That's sad.
I
right?
know.
We only got one life to live.
What did Abraham Lincoln say? Most people are about as happy as they make up their mind to be.
There you go.
Wisdom from Abe. I went to the Abraham Lincoln in Springfield. They have his presidential library and museum. It's incredible. It's maybe one of the top 3 I've ever been to. And they sell T-shirts that says, "I miss Abe." I miss the wisdom of
or at least
Abraham
some of his
Lincoln.
wisdom, right?
He was an amazing guy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, who knows? Maybe we can do part 2 of that interview later on.
Yeah, and poor guy, and all the weather that he just went through too, and he was able to get that Zoom connected. But
Right.
that's life. Sometimes things happen.
Yeah, if you missed it, that part of it, that's why he was just tiny on the screen. It was only on his phone. He couldn't even do it. They lost all their power, and he still was there for us, Des.
That's all right. We're here for you, and we're here tomorrow for you as well. We've got another great show lined up. We'll see you all then.